But then the committee has said that they have limitations with regards in terms of monetary policies to re-engineer the economy, if you like, to move the economy out of recession, because they've used up most of the tools that they have anyway.
I agree with you. They claim that there's limitation to the impact that monetary policy tools can have on real productivity. That is the output in the economy.
Price and output.
And then they talked about the structural defect in the economy. But then, if I have the CBN governor sitting in your position now, I will ask him a few questions about the management of the foreign exchange. This is not the first time we're having pressure on our foreign exchange in this country. During 1999, 2004, we had a situation almost similar to this one. And the governor then, the Chief Sanusi governor then, not the Alhaji Sanusi and now Emir, what did he do? He took very, very far-reaching decision on executives of banks that were found to be implicated in round-tripping. I will ask him the question, is there no round-tripping in the Nigerian economy today? Is there no money laundering in the Nigerian economy today? Is the central bank managing the foreign? Because the only tool they have now is administrative management of the foreign exchange. At any rate, the larger challenge of the supply of the foreign exchange, don't forget, the government itself is not getting its acts together with regards to the Niger Delta Avengers. As the Yorubas will say, that means that you need to look at the spoiler in quote, in this circumstance of analysis. You need to be able to engage with these people. You cannot deny the fact that the supply of foreign exchange is very much affected at this stage by the activities of this Niger Delta Avenger. Because besides the price, the output with the CBN is one of the output the CBN is saying he has no control over. The government has control over that one if he engages with the people. So I've talked about the issue of the CBN itself, managing well. What is the business of having so many bureau de change to be distributing? Because they are distributors. In other climes, bureau de change will take money from tourists, most especially. They source their money from tourists, and then they sell and they make a margin. Here, they are allocating about $30,000 to bureau de change every week. And their number escalated during the immediate past CBN governor tenure. Before then, how many bureau de change do we have in the economy?
But then there's been a review of their guidelines and the rules, and so I think that number has actually trimmed down to about 3,400 or thereabouts.
What are we doing with 3,000 bureau de change? We have 36 state capitals in this country. Are you saying we have up to 100 bureau de change in each of the state capitals? You come from Delta, I imagine. Do you have up to that in Asaba? In Ibadan, cannot. There's no visible 100 bureau de change. They are using it for nefarious activities. And we are saying that is, if the bureau de change should exist, let them exist. Why do you need to be giving? Do they monitor the way they sell that foreign currency? The CBN governor said we have a demand of about 4.8 billion US every month. Is that the legitimate demand? I don't expect to be having some alarmist figure being dropped. Is that the legitimate demand in this economy? The Manufacturer Association said in the last 1 year, over 125 of their manufacturing members have closed shop. Who is really demanding for this foreign exchange?
So another thing again that was an issue at this particular meeting, the committee talked about the limitations of monetary policing in a recession, and again said that there needs to be more keenly coordinated macroeconomic policy framework that would restart output growth, stimulate aggregate demand, and rein in inflation expectations. We are not controverting what he has said. In fact, it's even going outside of his own. He should face the management of the foreign exchange properly, address all these issues we've talked. Nobody is denying the fact that the structural issue of production in the economy. In how many modern sectors of in the normal economy is Nigeria present today?
And when you look at the supply chain, how many of the companies that are manufacturing here are able to source their raw materials from Nigeria that are producing it from Nigeria? Essentially, everything is imported, and what is done by even the so-called manufacturers is just a very small value-adding activity.
But then, they also now said that there should be banks should be looking at giving about 60% of the forex available to them to this very critical sector, like you've just mentioned, manufacturing and, of course, agriculture.
Well, they've talked about, how will I call it, segmentation of the allocation of foreign exchange. That means that you have a portion allocated to airline or aviation industry, a portion allocated to manufacturing. That's not the best way to manage. There's no room for experimentation at this stage. We've passed through this stage before, and it was managed properly. So I don't know what challenge the present crops of managers in the central are having with managing the foreign exchange. We have 41 items that have been banned from sourcing forex from here. That's the right path to follow. We need to look at the demand for foreign exchange. What are the basic critical sectors of the economy that we need to oblige with? Having people importing toothpicks and demanding for foreign exchange. Is that the kind of thing that we should consider to be legitimate demand for foreign exchange? So there's really further need to actually look at the administrative management of the foreign exchange. I think that is important at this stage. But the analysis by the governor as well as the committee on the problems with the structure of the economy, it is valid argument. Unfortunately, we don't see much from the government, although the Minister for National Planning said that by December, the government is going to come out with its economic plan, to address the structural problems.
That's economic recovery plan.
Yes, plan. So let's wait. It's taking him about 18 months or 21 months to put that together, which should not be. Because when a company is sick, when an individual is sick, when a country is sick, we are supposed to be in intensive care unit now, of economic recovery. And when you are in if we ask the doctors, when they talk of intensive care unit, they are talking of a place where they have zero tolerance for sloppiness, for slow action, because once you lose on time, you probably won't have anything to recover.
So we're counting down now to the final few days of the year. In just another few days, November will be ending, and in December. In light of what has actually happened, and between Monday when National Bureau of Statistics released GDP for the third quarter, and yesterday when the MPC announced its own decisions, what's your expectation for the few days of 2016? Well,
there isn't anything. It's business as usual. The Christmas is probably going to be dull for generality of Nigerians. The spirit can be too high, given the experience since January. Although last year it was predicted, this year is going to be very difficult. If the government does not get its act right, next year may even be worse. It's talking of some palliatives, for instance, taking loan of about 26 billion US. At the same time, you have some funny characters in the legislators who are also using so much difficult forex to get to import luxurious cars when already they have their own official transport monetized. So you see all these imbalances and all these conflicts and all these inconsistencies, they need to be addressed. Otherwise, next year is going to be a lot even more difficult and will stay here for a very long time.
Bisi Sanda, Senior Partner, Transaction Advisory Services, Ernst Young. Thank you so much for joining me on the program this morning.
Thank you.